David Penna, and that is Sublevels. And David is here in the studio with me. David, what was the name of that track?
That was called Ascension.
And am I correct? You played everything on that track?
Yeah, I did. Everything on the EP, actually.
That's kind of incredible. So how long did that process take?
This one actually took a while. It's funny because this is the second EP that I did of this project that I call PENNA. And I just started it because I kind of had ideas of music that I wanted to do. I've always written music, ideas, and I wind up contributing it to a band, and then it doesn't really come out the way that I had intended it. And, I just had this idea that I wanted to try and just do it on my own. I don't really like singing too much, but I took some lessons at one point, and so I said, let me just give it a whirl. And I was just going to do it for fun, and then it started coming out pretty good, and I would share it with people, and they would give me some positive feedback. So I said, well, what the hell? I'll just put it out. I put it on Bandcamp. It's free, basically. It's name your price. I put it on YouTube, and so anyway, the first EP took a while, and I get a little crazy about the recording, how the parts come out, and mixing and stuff. And so with this one, with Sublevels, I was doing less songs. I said I'll just do 4 songs, and I'm not gonna take as much time. And I wound up probably taking even more time. So probably from writing until the finish of mixing, probably close to a year, but with a lot of time off for holidays and things like that.
So is this something like where you would record something and it would get like a certain amount of progress into it, and you would second guess yourself and go back and redo it?
No, it was more, I wouldn't commit a part down until I felt it was good, and then I would move to the next part. I basically do one instrument at a time, starting with the drums, and then, bass, guitars, keyboards, vocals are last. The vocals take me the longest because I just tend to be hypercritical about them, so I go back and fix things and edit things, and, I'll admit I'm not a professional singer by any means, but yeah, basically I would kind of get it together, and then sometimes I would think it's done, and I say, well, I hear something else. Once in a while that would happen.
Well, it's a nice project, and we've been trying to get together for how long? I think we started talking at Christmas time. Was it before that? Yeah,
even before that. Yeah, you were saying you could call in, and I said, I got the idea, and I said, well, it would be nice if I could actually come into the station, I've never really done this before, at least not on my own. With bands that I've been in the past, once in a while we would get, an invite to come to a station, and I was just the drummer, so I might say hi at the beginning and bye at the end.
No one is just a drummer. No one is ever just a drummer.
Yeah.
But actually, that probably was the most work to do, to come into a station and play. You had to bring your whole kit in. I mean, you had the most stuff to carry, right?
Yeah. That's that's kind of part of my decision that I'm not really drumming these days outside of just to do tracks for my recordings, or if someone needs a hand to lay down some tracks. I'm actually just trying to focus on guitar playing and getting better at that right now. But I did enough years of, I was professional for a while. I had spent a bunch of years driving into the city every night or every other night, carting stuff around, and, been there, done that. My back will tell you it's had enough of that, so.
And I do want to tell everybody that we actually have a lot of stuff going on today. We have David Penna here, and we're actually playing Ad Astra behind us right now. And David, you were the drummer on this Ad Astra album, correct?
Yes.
But you don't play with them anymore. So did you play the last couple of Benefests? I remember a Benefest in the Even Flow bar where Ad Astra played, and also Stratospherius was on the bill. Were you at that one?
No, I wasn't.
But what about the one at Katie's of Smithtown? Did you do any of those shows?
No, I did fill in for them with. My memory's terrible.
So the 89 North show with Travis Larson?
Yeah. It was in Queens though.
Okay. So you did one of the when they were like playing around with Travis.
Yeah, and the regular drummer Tony couldn't make that one particular gig. But
And you're drumming on the CD.
yeah, mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So we have Ad Astra CDs here. We David brought a stack of them. We also have some of David's CDs here. We have Failure to Obey, a traffic control device, which I'm sure nobody here on Long Island would ever worry about. And we have a wonderful man sitting by talking on the phone with other WUSB DJs incessantly. But if you call in with a $10 pledge, Captain Phil will send you either the David Penna CD or the Ad Astra CD, or, and this is a special deal, boys and girls, if you pledge a pledge of $20, I'll send you both. How's that? So 2 for the price of what they would cost each. Well, whatever. So you get what I'm saying. So talk a little bit more. I want to play another track off of Sublevels in a moment here. Talk a little bit more about transitioning now from being going into the city and touring and doing this solo work by yourself. I mean, did it kind of make you fall down the rabbit hole a little bit? You know, did you get a little crazy? Was your wife banging on the door and says, "I haven't seen you in 3 days"? I mean, how did that go down?
I mean, kind of. That's exactly kind of what happened. She would be coming home, and I would be heading out the door. And also, you know, when you're working, when you don't have that steady 9 to 5, and you're just working freelance, you get into this, or at least I did, this habit of basically every time the phone rang with an offer, I'd say yes, because you know, you never know when the next one's coming in. And, you know, I would wind up missing out a lot of family events. My summers, I was, you know, working all summer, doing weddings and stuff like that. And so that's when I decided to get out of that and take a regular gig and then just do music for fun. And, you know, not long after that is when I hooked up with Eric Davis, the keyboardist from Ad Astra. What wound up being Ad Astra at the time, it was, I think, just the Joe Narduli band. And, you know, he said, "Oh, I know this guy. I ran into this guy, Joe. I think they met at like a Dregs show or something like that." And Joe played Eric the music, and I said, "You know, oh, that's great." And I was not looking for a band at the time, but Eric said, "Just check it out." And he gave me Joe's CD, and I said, "Oh, this guy's actually really good." So we just started playing together, and we had a different bass player at the time, Jay Levine, the one that's on the CD. And eventually we started playing some gigs, and eventually, you know, Joe said we should record an album that's actually this band and not my solo stuff. So we did that, and we put that out, and then we were still playing out. And I don't know, I just, you know, I've been playing, honestly, I had been playing drums at that point since I was like 8 or 9. I never really stopped, and I just kind of lost my passion for it in a way. And meanwhile, I kept hearing these other types of music that I kind of wanted to get into. You know, like it's funny because the Penna stuff, I guess, I call it progressive. You know, I'm on your show, so I suppose in a way it is. But at the time, I had no idea what to call it. But it's not really like Ad Astra in a way. It's a little bit different, and I just kind of wanted to focus on that. So I just said, I think I'm just going to start trying to develop this stuff now. Yeah,
and it is a little bit out of the wheelhouse of progressive. But I think, well, first of all, WUSB, we don't, you know, we play fast and loose with the formats, and I gravitate towards progressive rock and play a lot of progressive rock. But I've been known to play blues. I've been known to play, you know, pop. The horror, you know. I've been known to play some more metally sort of things, and I've been also played a lot of folk music on the show. So it's a wide open field, and if you got something that interests me, I had like an Irish folk singer on once, you know. So if you got something that like just interests me, you're part of the planet, man. You know, it's a big planet. There's enough room for everybody. Listen, I want to play another track. So we have also from Sublevels a track called "Believe." So, Dave, talk that up for us.
Geez, Believe. Believe is basically, you know, the lyrics are the last part to come for me for this music. But what's funny is the music for this tune was, I started writing it while I was still finishing up the first EP. And I don't know, I guess the lyrics are kind of, I draw on some spiritual, influences for some of my stuff, and it's kind of basically saying, you could believe, believe in what you want to.
Well, that's awesome. And here is introduced by David Penna, the composer and the artist himself, who performed it, Believe, from the EP Sublevels. David Penna in the house.
The time has come to throw away what you've become. New life begun, just move. When life is black and hands are tied, when every instinct says deride, yield your pride, just move. When all you see is everything you fear to become, walk with me, let's move. When years of doubt hold on to you and ghosts from your past try to tell you what to do, just move. Nothing has the strength to break you. Take a step and just remake you. Sometimes we find feelings try to change our mind. They lurk behind. Just move. Accept the truth, reject the lie, and you will make it through this time. Faith, rely, just move. Don't let the thoughts of yesterday detour the path you're on today.
Just move.
sun, open up the sky when you take a step and you don't ask why. Draw yourself closer to someone who moves your soul. When you see the sun, open up the sky. When you take a step and you don't ask why. When you stop the voice that's inside your mind and you make a way for the light to find.
Okay, and we're back here with David Penna, just wrapping it up. David, that last track you played there was off of what EP?
The first Penna EP, Chemical God.
And what was? Oh, that was called Change.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Change. I mean, doesn't everyone have something about themselves they want to change? I don't know. I mean, I get these ideas. A lot of times I'm in the shower, or I'm driving the car, and something comes into my head. It's always an inopportune time. I'll think of a phrase, and then I'll write a couple of things down. Or sometimes, I'll hear people say something. Liz will say something, or I'm in like a spiritual fellowship, and I'll hear someone say something, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll build off of that. I'm just trying to get these ideas out into some kind of words that I can somehow put over the music. And I have this thing about one word song title, so Change. I don't know. It works for me, I guess.
It's awesome. And how we've been playing your music all afternoon. We have 10 minutes left. How can the listener who's out there driving right now, preparing for their spring break, their Easter vacation, how can they get a Penna CD into their Easter basket? What hoops does one have to jump through? How many eggs do you have to boil or color, and how many chocolate kisses does it take to get this music in your own home?
Well, I mean, I do have a thing for dark chocolate. I will put that out there. But, actually, at this point, I have actually not made actual physical CDs, except once in a while I get a special request and I'll burn one. But basically, it's a downloadable album, or both of them, downloadable EPs. Basically, go to pennamusic.bandcamp.com. It's name your price, which means they would like you to put more than zero, but you can actually put zero in the price box and just download it for free. The only thing you really need to pay is an email address, so that I can kind of send you a little promotional email at some point. But really, it's just I just want to share the music. I want people to hear it, anyone that might like it.
But I believe it's a fact that if you download the music and just put zero in after you give your email address, that the Easter Weasel will actually come to your house instead of the Easter Bunny, and he'll steal all your Easter candy. So come on, show the love. So let's get serious, David. Your closing thoughts on your projects, and just leave us with something profound and interesting about being David Penna and writing music. Life, the universe, and everything. Lay it on us. No pressure.
Oh, that's not too much pressure. No, I just anyone that's listening. I know I have some friends that are listening and family, and just want to say a shout out and thank you to everyone, because you have no idea. Just anyone who makes like a little Facebook comment or something that encourages me, and it just really makes me smile. And especially, Phil, thank you so much for having me on. Your
My
show
pleasure.
is so valuable. I really, really appreciate you having me on.
And we really worked on the right date. You were so patient, because I was going to have you on when my wife was recovering in the hospital, and I said, well, if she comes out of the surgery okay, I could have you on, but if she's having problems, I won't be here. And you're like, no, let's do it at a better date.
Yeah.
So, but it's great, and your wife is here, and she's going to be the next DJ, because she did really well on the Destiny's promotion. So.
Yeah, her voice sounded great.
Yeah, I tell you, it's and we're always looking for fresh blood here at WUSB. It's a crazy place, but definitely go to what's the URL again?
Oh, okay. So the Bandcamp is pennamusic.bandcamp.com, and all of my news and stuff like that I put on the Facebook, which is facebook.com/pennamusic. It's PENNA.
Awesome. Joe Denizen is going to be coming in 2 weeks with Stratuspherius, and hopefully that will work out great. I'm a little nervous about that, because that's probably one of the bigger bands I've had come in. And Tony Bird from Two Birds is probably going to be here then too. And Eden Song will be performing at this show, so you'll want to do that. And yeah, we're just about ready to wrap it up. So thank you again, David Penna, for coming in.
Thank you, Phil.
And we'll have to have you back again someday on
Absolutely.
Captain Phil's Planet.